welcome to Moondive Tarot. My name is Teddy, and we'll be getting into the messages of what this new moon in Pisces means for us and really what to expect within the next 2 weeks. Now, there are 3 piles to choose from. The first pile is going to be the Rose Quartz Spheres, pile 1. Pile 2 is going to be the Rose Quartz Tower. Pile 3 is going to be the Rose Quartz Angel. So each pile will give you an idea of what to expect within the next couple weeks, give you some guidance, some insight. I feel like this last couple weeks, coming out of the Mercury retrograde that's going to be ending soon, and the eclipses that we've been experiencing has been a really intense, foggy, emotional whirlwind of things going on. We can see it play out in the world as well, right? So I hope this is going to bring you some more clarity, a bit more insight on your situation. So let's go ahead and get started with pile 1. All right, pile 1. So first thing I'm noticing from the spread of cards, and just from the first card out, there is a lot of, I heard impatience, a lot of this needing to have patience. First card out, the moon card, love the moonology, is going to tell us what moon phase you're currently experiencing personally, but also this is a timeline. Full moon in Taurus, that's usually going to happen around Scorpio season, is when we experience that full moon in Taurus. So something about Scorpio season towards the end of the year, something coming to fruition. But I have this first one that came out. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Some of you might have Taurus placements, or those second house. You want to see what your second house looks like. Something about needing to have patience, needing to have a practical plan. Your guides really want you to know that at this time where things, because I'm getting this vibe of like, I heard something too good to be true. Something about something being too good to be true, or someone blowing smoke up your ass kind of vibes, right? With this, your dreams need a practical plan. Something about slowing down. Something about taking your time. I heard also read the fine print, or like go through the details. I heard with a fine-tooth comb. Something about going through the details with a fine-tooth comb. Spirit is really calling for you to really look at each step and what you're putting into it, into what you're building. Think of it as like, because I got the image of someone like building like a brick house. Something about a brick house. Something about a brick house. I don't know if you're getting thicker. You're getting something about she's a brick house. She's mighty, just letting it all hang out. Some of you might be, I also get channel messages through music, right? Something about a brick house, something about, because I'm getting this also like old school, like 70s funky. I've heard like have fun. Something about trust the process, but also have fun in the process. Something about a brick house, something about building something brick by brick. That's also another message I got. Something about building something brick by brick. There's this quote from, if you've seen it, from the show called Snowfall, where one of the main characters is like, I built this brick by brick. So some of you, like, you've built your body brick by freaking brick, or built your stability, your career brick by brick. Something about the process of like intentionally like putting in the steps and the work to get there. Something I heard also, something about like keeping your head down and focusing on work is really important as well for you. Your dreams need a practical plan. So what Spirit is really saying too, with all of this Piscean, like Neptune vibes that are going on, it's really important to put your plans into action, or it's something about putting your plans in action. So that's like the overarching moon vibes that we're getting. Taurus moon, if you have Taurus placements, that's something you definitely want to work with, and you want to with this new moon in Pisces, it's very new. It's a lot of Neptunian energy that's happening, which really talks about our dreams and our wants and like our deepest desires, and if we could create a perfect world, or a perfect vision of what our life could be. That's what Neptune, that's what Pisces energy really truly wants. That's also another beautiful thing, is that Pisces functions really well in the moon space, right? But the moon is exalted when it's in Taurus, meaning the moon is the most powerful and the most respected when it's in this energy. So something about Taurus moon, something about respecting yourself and respecting your values, something about having respect for your dreams also, whatever these dreams are bringing in for you. Next card I have, this is the Whip. It's 11. Something about 11 here. 11, 11. You could be seeing 11 energy. You could be 11 life path. I'm also seeing a broom, and I'm seeing the Whip here. Now, with this energy, there's a lot of power that comes from this. I heard something about cleaning house. Something about, I'm getting a lot of house energy. I don't know if you're house shopping, you're getting a new house. Congratulations. Something about cleaning house. Something about getting things in order. With the Whip here, too. I mean, look, I'm going to call it like I see it. Get some kinky vibes going on, okay? So, wait, whatever you do, hey, don't hurt nobody. Okay, don't hurt nobody. Something about this Whip. I heard something about like domination is really important. I heard something like taming the beast or something is what another vibe I'm getting, where it's like internally I feel like there's parts of you that you are like putting to work, or you are like dominating parts of yourself that are out of place. This could be also, you heard like standing your ground. This is also feels like if this is a work environment where you're having people that are like overworking you or overstepping your boundaries, to like not be afraid to assert your dominance. Something about asserting your dominance, okay? But also with this broom here, when I think of the broom, I think of like that kind of like, I'm getting witchy vibes here too, because like getting like witches, like a witch broom, but also like something about cleaning, and something about like, I'm getting this energy of like you need to be around people that are on the same page with you, right? If we're working together to build something, that everyone like plays their part, that you can not have to, because I'm just getting this, because I heard a power struggle is what I'm hearing, because I got really like tight and tense all of a sudden. Something about a power struggle. You could be struggling to, I heard something about like struggling to empower yourself. Know that whatever it is that you want, that you can have, but you have to allow yourself to be empowered, and you have to, something about standing firm is really important in this this next 2 weeks. Something about standing firm, something about like not having to repeat yourself, because I hear this kind of with Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of miscommunications. There's a lot of you having to repeat yourself. I'm hearing you having to say that I will not repeat myself. Being really clear about what it is that you're trying to communicate is really important. Being able to, I'm not going to repeat myself kind of vibes. So that's what I'm getting. Two of Wands, Eight of Wands, Princess of Swords. So this also goes back to that impatient energy that I'm seeing here, right? I really want to get into this one. So this was the first card out, Two of Wands. So this talks about, like I said, like something about you. You just carry this like strength. Something about like, even with these ones, something about you like intimidating people, but empowering people. I'm getting this vibe of like, you know, when you walk into the room, like people know what's up. If you don't feel like this is something that the next 2 weeks is really pushing you into the position of being able to have the, I heard something about like getting your energy back, or like getting your vibe back. Two of Wands usually talks about like the beginning stages of a plan, quite literally a plan, putting the actions into place to execute a plan. So you could be within the next 2 weeks, whatever it is that you want to achieve for yourself, the universe is saying that confidence is key, but although also like stand strong is what I'm hearing too, because I'm hearing like some of you, or you're having like really intense self-doubt at this time. You could be experiencing bouts of self-doubt. Two of Wands really talks about just keeping in mind the vision, also how you show up, because even how I'm seeing like the body language, something about body language and like the way that you show up, something about fake it till you make it. I also heard faith it until you make it. So not just faking and trying to walk the talk, walk the walk, but something about having faith in how you stand and knowing that you will get your desired outcome. It just really is in all how you show up. Eight of Wands. This is also telling me within the next 2 weeks or so, you might be experiencing still some delays, still some miscommunications. This also could be like you trying to push things forward. And I heard, like I said, going back to this, like people aren't cooperating, right? I'm getting this vibe of like everyone's kind of like on their own timeline. I just got the vision of the Oh man, that's an old movie, Cat in the Hat. The old like the anim like the live action Cat in the Hat, where I just get the scene from like Thing 1 and Thing 2 where they're just like destroying the house kind of vibes. That's how it could feel. It could feel like there's um there's people around that are like, you know, sabotaging your plans. That's what it could feel like, right? You want to move things forward in the right direction, and there's something about your plans being sabotaged. Something about sabotaging your plans. But with Eight of Wands, because I have the 2 and I heard also don't get ahead of yourself. Because I have the 8 and the 2 that equals 10, 10 of Wands here. 10 of Wands, I heard don't get ahead of yourself. Trust the process and kind of like move with the ebb and flow. That's going to be really important the next 2 weeks with the new moon in Pisces, because that's kind of how the energy is going to be alchemized, and us being able to work with it is that if we're all dreamy and imaginative of what we want, right? reality doesn't work that way. So something about the ebb and flow, something about knowing when to stay still in your strongness, and something about being adaptable. Because when I see this Taurus, and I see this full moon and Taurus card, something about this like standing firm. But if you look at the body language, totally different. Something about like standing firm in something, but also knowing when to take action, knowing when to leap. Princess of Swords. Now this is also another card that's the last one out from the tarot. Princess of Swords, this really talks, I'm getting also Aquarius energy from this. I'm getting a lot of fire sign. You might have fire sign placements to Aries, Leo, Sag. But with this, it talks about, I heard something about keeping your head on straight. Stop, look, and listen. Keeping your head on straight is really important. And I heard cutting through the bullshit. The sword here, when I'm seeing like cutting through the bullshit, I feel like you could be cutting through a lot of like, I heard cutting through the static or like the noise. There could be a lot of like chatter or just other communications. Something that's like, something about communication not being so clear. But with this card, I see a lot of clarity happening. I feel like if you're at a spot right now, things don't feel so clear. You feel like your communication isn't coming through correctly, or others are misunderstanding you, miscommunicating. I heard something about like stepping back and like bird's eye view with the bird here I'm seeing. I heard bird's eye view, stepping back, allowing yourself to analyze the situation a bit better and ground yourself. And then something about the sword, because even the way it's like facing upward too, right? And even the intensity, something about eye contact and intensity. There's a lot of look, there's group 1, there's a lot of intensity, and there's a lot, I heard intimidation. That's also another message I got for someone. If take what resonates, leave the rest. Something about this could be in the workplace, or this could be you out and about, or something about like someone trying you, or someone trying to like exercise power over you, or someone trying to threaten or intimidate you. Just know that this is an internal thing the other person is projecting. They're also projecting their own insecurity onto you. Something about staying firm and like, I don't know, get like chess vibes. I heard this is chess, not checkers, is what I'm hearing. All right, so let's get into some affirmations. This is from my Rooting and Growing affirmation deck. So same with this full moon in Taurus, I'm also getting like a strong sense of like feeling like we're looking at our resources. When we look at full moon in Taurus, Taurus is fixed earth. You want to think your resources as far as like money, food, clothes, like the basic necessities you need to live, right? Feeling really, because it's full moon, meaning like, which matches the affirmation perfectly. Everything I need is already here. So everything that you feel like that you're missing, you don't have enough of, the universe is letting you know, and your spirit team is letting you know, everything you need to build whatever it is that you're trying to achieve for yourself, you have. You have the resources, you have the tools, you have the devices. You have everything that you need to accomplish your goals and to make your dreams happen. There's just practicality needed. There's structure needed, is what I'm hearing. There's structure that's needed here, because everything you have everything you need to work with. You just need to structure it better. Something about like budgeting, planning, looking into her spreadsheet. Like I'm getting this like, oh, are you planning a business? I'm getting like someone going back to school, or like someone like you starting a business for yourself, or there's going to be a lot more business. There's a lot, I see a lot of like abundance here, but something about having to structure it and having to like steward over it. Another one that I got, I awaken daily. Now this one's really beautiful too, because I feel like you, pile one, you may be feeling really tired, really drained, really exhausted, giving your energy out, or feeling like your energy is being leaked. I awaken daily. Something about awakening, something about consciousness also too. Something about like expanding your consciousness without thinking about it. You could be exposed to more things on a day-to-day that is expanding your consciousness, that's causing you to wake up a bit more. Like wake up, I'm getting Matrix vibes, where it's like you like waking up from out of the Matrix kind of thing. Like you're actually waking up to, and I heard sleeping on. There's someone sleeping on you. I feel like this could be like, if it's work, I feel like this is in regards to a relationship, just in case if you need that. Something about someone waking up and like realize that they're sleeping on you or have slept on you. And I'm getting this like underdog vibe where it's like being like overlooked and kind of like overworked. I've overworked and overlooked. But with you awaking daily, this is you taking time every day, because it feels more like a practice with this affirmation. Waking up, upon waking up, like claiming the things that you're grateful for, like really breathing into your body, connecting with your consciousness and your reality and gratitude. I awaken daily. So daily, tune into your life and the things that you're grateful and that you appreciate. And for the last message, this message comes from our archangels. This one specifically, Archangel Zedekiel. Teaching and learning, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. So you may be a teacher, like I said, I'm getting that like going back to school, you being a leader in some type of way, or looking at about mentorship. At this time, the next 2 weeks, you really want to look at ways that you can expand upon your knowledge by either going back to school, something about reading, taking in more information that's relevant to where you want to grow and what you want to learn. Teach these ideas to others. So like I said, you could be a teacher, or guiding others. If you have little ones, or if you're an auntie, uncle, whatever your situation is, if you have little ones, something about like teaching the youth, something about like teaching the youth, or also going back to school, like going back to things you were passionate about in your youth. There's a lot of guidance that you have. Something about this light here too. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of wands, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of passion in this reading. So I do feel like in the next 2 weeks, your inspiration, if you feel like you've been tired and been drained, your energy is going to come back. Your spark is going to hurt. Something about your spark. Your spark is going to come back. And something, I heard Big Sean bounce back energy. Last night I took a L, but tonight I bounced back. Something about bouncing back. So if you've been struggling, going through a hard time, either energetically or financially, it's temporary and you are bouncing back actively. Something about the more you give, the more you will receive. So if you're giving, say if you don't have a lot of money to give or a lot of tangible things to give, if even just you giving your guidance, your spiritual wisdom, that is also currency as well. So kind of changing, or it's like changing your mindset on what abundance means to you is going to be really important the next 2 weeks, and how these like lessons come out to you. So thank you. Thank you, group 1. I appreciate you for watching. If it resonates, please like the video, please share. But yeah, we're gonna move on to pile 2. All right, hello, my pile 2 peoples. Hello. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? So the first card out that I have is the Moonology. The full moon in Scorpio, it's time to release negativity. So the message for this new moon cycle for you, some of you may have been leaning into a lot of like intense themes at this time. So I'm getting that strong Scorpio energy going on here. It's time to release negativity. Now, with this, full moon in Scorpio usually actually comes around during Taurus season. So something about whatever it is that you're manifesting, or something about Taurus season going to be like really significant for you, especially if this is something you're planning for, if this is something that you're beginning, something about Taurus season, because that's when this full moon in Scorpio comes around. Now with this, because this is a lot of Plutonian energy, right? Something about when I get this energy, because I got this like tightness in my chest and my back, something about you feeling a lot more negative or more pessimistic. I heard pessimistic. Something about the glass half empty. Some spirit really wants you to lean more. I heard lean into play, lean into more peace. Because I'm getting just like some of you, well, I feel like you are being really hard on yourself, first of all. I'm going to call it as it. You're being way too hard on yourself. You're putting way too much pressure on yourself, and I'm just getting this kind of like you've been in this nostalgic energy, especially with, let's talk about it, with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It's giving like a distorted nostalgia vibe to it. Take it how it resonates. But with because it's Neptune is operating in the space of Mercury, our thoughts, our communications, the way that we're kind of looking at things and seeing things, like as in regards to like our mind, and communicating with others, right? With it being in Pisces, since it's such a Neptunian kind of like nostalgic, dreamy energy, you may have been looking at yourself or looking at your past mistakes or looking at your past decisions from a very like harsh and tense lens, where spirit is really saying to step back and look at the divinity of these experiences and what they're meant to teach you and the lessons that you are meant to gain from them. Because some of you are being way too hard on yourself and too hard on others, and it's giving you almost like negative Nancy. Don't be a negative Nancy, okay? Something about I heard also bad apple, like a bad apple spoils the bunch is what I heard. So if this isn't you, this is someone around you, like I said, within the next 2 weeks period, pay attention to the environments that you're put in, especially like I hear like around work, or just I heard like in your neighborhood, like if people are like gossiping and kind of being negative and they're trying to bring you in, do your best to like have discernment and like separate as much as you can, because I heard something about like someone's like negativity is like contagious or something, or these I don't know. Like I'm getting all these downloads. I got this like Mean Girls vibe. Something about this like you can't sit with us kind of energy. So something about like bullying or exclusion. I don't like this. If this is your work environment, or talk to HR. If this is your work environment, something about self-preservation is key, because I'm seeing this stinger here where Scorpio and like scorpions in particular are very interesting because they have that stinger, right? Is it stinger? Is it bees or is it scorpions where if they sting you that they die? I think it's bees. Honestly, look, I don't know. But something about, I heard like back up, don't get too close. Something about you having to like have strong boundaries with people. I feel like I said this also could be your family members too. Like somebody around you is just like really negative. They look at their life and they blame everyone else except for themselves. Like not blame, but like they don't, there's a lack of accountability here is what I'm saying. Something about needing to have accountability for yourself and others needing to have accountability. So like I said, this is within the next 2 weeks, so just pay attention to your own energy. Hold yourself accountable when you're feeling this way, because I heard just things aren't all as bad as they seem. Things just feel really, and I heard just because things are intense does not mean that they're bad. I think we oftentimes get that kind of mixed up, especially when it comes to uncomfort, because I heard something about sitting in the discomfort with the Scorpio energy in that death transformation. You're going through a deep transformative moment, and you're almost in the this space where that change is happening, where it's like a weird healing limbo. Like you're not fully transformed yet, but you're not who you used to be. Something about surrendering to that space, where it's almost like it's like a limbo kind of thing. You don't know how to feel. It may feel easier to be negative, but Spirit is saying that you are. It's like I'm getting this like some of you might be flying or traveling or something about like I get the vision of someone like as you're it's like going through the gate when you're like gonna board a plane, right? Where it's like before that long stretch before you get into the actual plane, but you're not in the airport technically, right? They're the bridge. I think that's what it's called, the bridge from the gate to the. So some of you might be traveling. I heard something about long distance travel too. Some of you might have like an unexpected trip, or if you have a trip planned, something about a bridge. So something about a bridge. So this also feels like if you're like taking a train or you're driving or something, just be careful when you're driving. I heard be careful like on the road. But something about a bridge, something about you not being in the plane yet, like you not being at the destination. You're in movement, you're in transition, even if it doesn't feel like it. Because I feel like some of you may be feeling like things aren't happening and it's making you frustrated and it's making you project. It's also making other people project, and you might also have to like check other people and be like, hey, you're being kind of negative. With this Plutonian energy too, I heard just like transmuting the intense emotions, right? With like, when you talk about Scorpio, you got to talk about all the the intense themes that comes with it, right? So finding a healthy outlet to release your negativity. I heard like going to the gym or like self-release, whatever that means to you. Finding ways to get that negativity out, that way you're not just holding on to it. Because I really get this like someone like swallow, or like I heard swallow your pride, or like swallowing this swallow someone like swallowing their pride or their anger, frustration. Don't do that, okay? But also don't project it onto others. Find a healthy outlet to take it and like put it somewhere else. Another card I have here, I have the Garden. So this also is kind of like, I feel like going back to that, this kind of like no space. I mean, it is a space, right? But when I see the two, I see something about two chairs here. I feel like this could be you and your partner, you and your person, or because I'm seeing the two chairs here. This is about connection. This is also about being at peace. Like I said at the beginning, something about finding your peace. With the Garden here, something about connecting to nature is really important. I feel like that's also going to help transmute a lot of your negative emotions. I heard like go hug a tree, like trees. Then I'll go hug a tree, okay? When you connect with trees, they actually can take our energy, like our negative energy, and they can transmute it as well. So something about going to, like, I heard your favorite tree. I don't know if some of you, I don't know if you have a favorite tree. If you have a favorite tree, or go find one, okay? Because trees, look, I got my favorite tree that when I'm feeling really overwhelmed or really negative, really frustrated, I will go to my favorite oak tree and sit with it and really slow down and just, like I said, one-on-one connection, right? Because I'm just getting this like tree. It's a lot of green here. Like I said, there's a lot of abundance. I heard there's like so much abundance around you, you don't know what to do with. Something about having a lot of abundance and not knowing what to do with it. That also comes with recognizing it. I feel like if you've been leaning into this kind of like negative energy, connecting back to the ecosystem around you, slowing down. I heard slowing down, taking your time, something about like sitting in nature, watching the plants. I heard watching the grass grow. Okay, something about like watching just nature at play, because I'm getting this like, especially with spring in 2 days, or the spring equinox, something about spending more time in nature. This could be taking nature walks, even just sitting, either by yourself or with someone that you love and someone that you feel really nourished by, is going to be really important to help you feel grounded during this time. Because as we're going through this new moon in Pisces, we get to the full moon, the universe is really going to ask us what's real, and like, see, but that's also the question too. It's like, what is real? What is real to you? What are we doing to create our reality, our ideal reality, really? For you, if you feel like you want more peace in your reality, you're going to have to be the one to foster that connection with the universe to do that. And I see lots of positivity. This also could be, I heard something about like a wedding or an outing, something about either like some type of celebration. Like I said, I'm getting this like travel energy. So it might be traveling for like a wedding, or traveling for like a baby shower, or like birthday or something outside. I heard just like get out in nature and like just this like celebration energy, which is really beautiful too. All right, so let's get into some of the other messages. Ace of Wands. So like I said, there's a lot of like energy that you're feeling, especially like I was saying with the negativity. When your energy isn't properly regulated, I heard it's like a waste of energy. The universe is blessing you. Like if you've been tired or just feeling really exhausted the last couple weeks, just know that you're gonna get more energy. I heard divine inspiration. So something in the next 2 weeks, you're going to experience something or a connection. Because I feel like this is in regards to a connection. I'm not going to get too much into the love stuff, but I'm going to call it like I see it. Something about a new passion or like a passion reignited. This is also giving me that Aries vibes as we go into Aries season in a couple days. This is also Leo, Sag, and Aries energy here. It says a spark, something about a spark, something about something being lit, something about getting lit. Like I said, are you partying? Something about getting lit. Okay, something about just like heard the turn up. I heard about getting lit. I hear joy. That's what I'm saying too. With the releasing negativity, something about embracing joy, embracing connection, connecting with what warms your soul and like what invigorates your soul is what I heard. So like I said, this could be played out through a new connection or just being around family members, being around, or even just being in an environment that inspires you. Something about art here too, because when I see this, it kind of almost looks like a pencil in a way. Something about like, I don't know if you're like a writer, creative person. Also, I feel like this also could be a microphone too. Something about using your voice. Something about getting into using your energy to create and manifest, or using your voice. So you could be a speaker or a writer, or writing poetry, or like writing something about like your words having like a lot of meaning or a lot of depth. Your words are also really inspiring to others as well. Six of Swords. Now this talks about moving on. It's funny, this card's been coming out a lot within my last couple of readings. But Six of Swords, with this coming out, this is also air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Something about here, also heard your health. Something about you also refocusing on your health and being more active. I see the little symbol here. I forgot what it's called, but they use it in the medical industry, and even just the body language. Something about flexibility. Something about the universe wanting you to be flexible the next 2 weeks, and not just mentally, because this also is a very mental energy, but like physically. Something about being physically and mentally flexible is really important. But this talks about moving on. If you've been going through a really hard struggle, or feeling, like I said, feeling very negative, just know that you are moving past this. I heard the winds of change. So it could be windy where you're at. Something about a breeze or something about the wind. Just hear like the winds of change. Something about like, I guess, I don't know if you live in the desert. Look, I don't know if you live in the desert or the West. I see a tumbleweed. I just like a tumbleweed like rolling. But something about moving on, moving forward, or something about a new direction. So this could be you looking at a new direction or a new path. See, now I'm getting another download. Getting a download of like an unexpected path, or an unexpected path, or like option. Something that, an option that you maybe weren't planning for, expecting, but it's now an option for you. Or something that you may have, like I said, I'm getting this like, you may have wanted this thing to happen, or wanted this, and you're like, nah, that can't happen. I feel like the universe is saying that the universe is going to bring up an opportunity where a path, because I'm getting this idea of like, it's like a door that was like closed or something, or like a path that was like closed off to you, and like now that path is going to be an option for you. And I think it's really up to you to decide where you're at now. Should I go in that direction, right? Let me see. Yeah, something about moving forward. I heard also something about time, because when I see this, it kind of looks like a clock, like laid flat. Something about 6, something about watch your 6. That's a term that they use in the military, talking about your back. Something about your back. If you notice that you're having like tension in your back, I heard get a massage, or chiropractic, or something about like, I heard alignment. Something about like getting your back aligned or something. But yeah, I get something about time. I heard time management. With the next 2 weeks, time management is going to be really important. Definitely, but like I said, that this whole like stretching, body language. Alignment is what I heard. So spirit wants you to be really aligned in what it is that you are, like your next step forward, the next path you choose. That way you're not feeling like negative and resentful. Really, really ask yourself if you're aligned, if the vision of your life is aligned for what it is that you want. Because I heard just like something about your path having a cost. Like everything has a cost in the universe. Like I'm just gonna call it what it is. Everything has a cost, either energetically, physically, time, whatever you name it. Because something about the cost. But also, like I said, just pay attention to your health at this time within the next 2 weeks. And this one, oh, I love her. Queen of Pentacles. So this is you. This is you within the next 2 weeks. This is you now. Something about your not letting your self-value diminish. I heard also not letting others define your worth. I feel like you're surrounded by people that are fixated on telling you like what you can and can't do, or what you can or can't have. This also goes back to this garden energy. Like I'm getting this like almost, the Empress isn't here, but I'm kind of getting that vibe. Something about it's like sitting in your peace, you sitting and knowing that you are taken care of by the universe. There's no need to feel negative or resentful when you know that the universe has your best interests at heart and has your back ultimately. Okay. So, and something about Queen of Pentacles. So this is also talks about like getting really grounded in what, like once again, what you want to see long term. Because this queen, like she looks at the long term. She's also naturally really beautiful. So something about self-care. Take yourself to the spa. Take yourself out. Do things or do things that make you feel like money. You know, if you want to attract money, the best way to attract money isn't by holding on to it. It's to do things that make you feel like money, that make you feel abundant, and that allows the spirit of money and abundance to follow suit. If you treat yourself with lack and feel like you're not good enough, money's going to be like, why would I go to that person, right? So something about that. Some of this also, like I heard like new clothes, new jewelry. Some of you might be maybe shopping soon the next 2 weeks. I heard either like house shopping, clothes shopping, or new jewelry, like new bling kind of vibes. Something about the waves and the curls here too. Some of you guys just look really good the next 2 weeks. Just keep your self-care up. I heard you don't look like what you've been through. So something about keeping up appearances, or you've been through so much hardship and struggle, where the universe wants you to embody a state of calm and peace, and then everything else is going to fall into place. All right, and this is my walk makes me worthy. Like I said, there's a lot of self-worth themes that are coming up here. Definitely, like I said, I'm getting that. Just like take care of your body, take care of the world around you, or like take care of your like home and your environment. It's a reflection of your believed abundance and like what you believe these things are worth to you. And the card from our Archangel comes from Archangel Jophiel. Patience. Your dreams are blooming. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Didn't I just say this? Look at this. Everything you want comes once you give yourself a sense of peace and knowing that it's on the way. Something about getting grounded here, like I said, is very important. When I see this, also, whenever I see this card, I think of like Virgo energy, because she's like the way she's like watering. Something about Virgo season. You might have Virgo placements also. I'm also getting Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. No cups here, I see. Well, I've got Scorpio, I've got the water here. But something about watering yourself. When I see this garden, I see the universe wants you to pour into yourself, showing yourself self-love by pouring into yourself. Really attending to your emotions and like not letting your emotions grow stagnant is what I heard. Because that's when negativity happens, is when our emotions are like water. When it sits for too long and gets funky and kind of nasty. Something about letting things go. I also see this beautiful butterfly here. Something about this butterfly is really important also. That's also Scorpio energy too, is that butterfly, that transformation. Something about you surrendering to the process, and then also just self-care vibes. Take the next 2 weeks to really slow down things, go out in nature, treat yourself, tune into your body, eat good food that's healing, and journal, channel your frustration into something that you can create with. So that's what I got for you, pile 3. Thank you so much. If you enjoy, please like the video or share it to whoever else could benefit from it. Thank you. All right, hello pile 3. So I've got my spread for you. Let's just get into it. So for the next 2 weeks, this is going to be your message, full moon in Pisces. So the first card that came out, which I love it, let's get into it. Step out of your comfort zone. Step out of your comfort zone. North Node, which I think is really funny considering that the North Node is actually in Pisces at the moment. So you could be feeling, you also could have Pisces in your chart, or look where Pisces is in your chart. You could be feeling this heavy pull towards the Piscean energy, where this Neptune energy is very like dreamy, imaginative. There's a lot of healing in it. There's also, that's why it's called the house of undoing, or like self-undoing, right? Something about yourself, something about being undone, or like, I'm getting this like stripping kind of energy, right? Step out of your comfort zone. So North Node in Pisces, what that really looks like, your North Node represents area in your chart. Everyone has one. You also might want to look at your chart if you might be a North Node in Pisces, or just want to see what your North Node looks like, because you want to look at what your North Node is specifically. Think of your North Node as your North Star. That is where your soul's direction wants to go for your highest spiritual growth and development. Now, on the other side of that, you have your South Node. Your South Node is what pulls you back down, not necessarily in a bad way. It's like what your soul has done for eons and has done for lifetimes, versus going in the direction of where your soul hasn't been yet, right? With the North Nodes, what they really do is they offer us a choice. They offer us a path. Do I want to go to my comfort zone, or am I going out of it? The universe is testing you right now. Actually, I heard the universe is begging you to step outside of your comfort zone. Some of you might be so comfortable and so content with where you're at. So I'm getting this like content and comfortable enough to stay, but like not to leave. Something about, because I'm hearing within the next 2 weeks, you're going to see something or experience something that's going to push you so outside of your comfort zone mentally that it's going to force you into a position where you're going to have to step into this North Node. You're going to have to step into, I heard, stepping into alternate dimension or alternate reality at this point. Because something about, it's like, I'm getting this vibe of like you doing the same thing, and kind of, you know, you found your rhythm, you found your comfort in it. You're gonna experience something. It's almost like a break. I heard something about like a break. I'm also getting that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of vibes, where it's like you experience something that like snaps you out of your reality, and like you get to peek into another one. Something about looking at your North Node, stepping outside of your comfort zone is going to be really important. Something about, I heard like changing up your routine. I heard about like taking a different direction at work, or like ordering something different you wouldn't normally order, or stepping, like I said, this stepping outside of your routine, because that's really what a comfort zone is, right? A comfort zone is kind of like it's not just a place where we feel comfortable. It's kind of like our habits, right? Our habits create our structures. Something about you needing a new structure, or like I said, something about your comfort zone being challenged at this moment. Yeah, let's get more into what this is about. The Art Nouveau Lenormand. Now this also is another energy that's coming up, and it's really cute. The dog, something about loyalty. I heard Loyalty by SZA, and no, it's not SZA. Loyalty by Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna. Something about loyalty. I don't know. If I heard Kendrick and SZA, you might be locked in with someone, because I don't know why SZA's popping up. Something about SZA and like Kendrick vibes. Something about loyalty. Something about that's what's also kind of conflicting here, right? Step outside of your comfort zone, but like I said, you may be feeling really comfortable where you're at. You might also be feeling really loyal where you're at. Something about having conflicting feelings about like loyalty here. Something about this dog. Like I said, something about obedience. And something that I'm getting this like comfort energy, right? You may have a new dog or maybe thinking about getting one. I think that's a good idea if you feel called to it. Something about a companion. I feel, ooh, that's another vibe. Some of you might be yearning for a new companion, but you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to attract it, is what I heard. Because where you're looking in your current habits and your current things, the current state that you're in, the type of companion or partnership that you want, it's like you're attracting like the wrong people for you, or you're attracting disloyal people or people that aren't on the same level of like our commitment as you. So this also, I heard something about commitment or something about like loyalty and companionship here. Step outside of your comfort zone. This could be you going to a different environment or trying a different method. Because I heard go to places or things that you naturally enjoy to find someone that's like you or find your companion. Something about companionship here. I'm also getting this like loneliness vibe. Because I'm even seeing the dog just by himself, just like sleeping. I don't want to gender the dog, but something about a loneliness here. Something about you taking once you take the path of stepping outside of your comfort zone, it's very lonely. That's something that I feel like isn't talked about enough, and that's why a lot of us choose to stay in jobs or relationships and things that don't necessarily work for us, because we feel like we get that base need met, or we get comfortable. Something about loneliness here. Something about like, because I got the picture of like a dog in like a shelter. Something about adopting. If you want to get a dog, I heard something about like adopt a dog. Something about adopting a dog, or you may have a dog that you've adopted. Something about fostering too, I hear. But I just get this like this loneliness vibe, but also heard unconditional love when I see this dog. When I see this here, it speaks about unconditional love. So think about the things that create that sense of unconditional love for you, and like not to let that go per se, but the things that are keeping you stuck and it's not unconditional, that's something you want to analyze. Going back to that too, Four of Cups. This feels more specifically to relationships. I'm gonna speak on it. Okay, Four of Cups. This talks about like you having options, like nothing that you want. Something about this blue. I'm getting a lot of like sadness, loneliness vibes. It's like you have options, or you have offers coming in. This could be also for work too. You could be you could be looking for your dream position, or wanting to manifest your dream position, stepping outside of your comfort zone. But you're getting offers that you're like, nah, it's not gonna hit in the way that you need it to, right? It's like getting an offer like, oh, we're offering this much pay, or these are the working conditions, or it's something about like holding out for the best option, is what I heard. The next 2 weeks, you may find yourself holding out for the best option, because I heard don't go with the first option. Don't go with the first offer that's given to you. Something about, especially with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because Mercury in retrograde in Pisces specifically gives that things can be too good to be true. So I heard something about sit in stillness, something about like taking your time. I also see this horse here as well. When I said horse too, I think of that like, since it is a lunar like horse year in the Chinese astrology, with the Lunar New Year, something about like, I heard just like don't make a move yet, which yes, we'll be going into Aries season. A lot of us were wanting to be taking action, but something about, I heard just taking your time right now. Don't go with the first option, but you might be feeling like, damn, it's never gonna come in. I'm not gonna, just try not to think too hard about it. I heard try not to think, don't obsess about it, because I'm also getting like a low key like obsessing, or just kind of like obsessing about the ideal, where it's like don't obsess about the ideal so much. Reason why I say that, I have the High Priestess here. There's a lot that is being hidden from you at this moment. This is the card of Pisces energy, and she rules over like the things that are hidden behind the veil. Something about eye contact too. When I see this, something about dreamy eyes. I feel like this is a relationship, but this is somebody, you'll know who they are because they have like dreamy eyes. That's for someone. Okay, take what resonates, leave the rest. Something about dreamy eyes, or like really beautiful eyes, or you connect through the eyes. Something about like seeing this person, or spotting it like across the room and being like in knowing. Because this talks about like a deep wisdom, a deep spiritual knowing, and just like I said, it's a very, like, this is very intuitive kind of energy. I heard not to force anything at this time. If you feel like I said, you're getting all these options, you're getting offers. If it feels forced, if you have to, I heard if you have to be an inauthentic version of yourself to get it, don't do it, because you're gonna have to maintain that sense of authenticity. Where the High Priestess is like, I don't need to move at the pace of anyone else. I'm also getting waves here. Something about the water. Something about going to the beach or going to the pool. You may be in the next couple weeks as it warms up. Something about meeting someone at the pool or something. I don't know. Or meeting them at the beach. Something about going to the beach, going to the water is going to be really healing, really impactful for the next 2 weeks. Queen of Wands. Now this is also that fire energy. You could be Leo, Sag, or Aries. Something about I heard like pop out. Something about pop out, because I'm getting this like really attractive, abundant. Queen of Wands is like someone who is really like generous, really warm, naturally gravitates. So something about, because I'm getting like in the moment you might not be feeling like especially, I feel like this is going to be you closer to the full moon as we get to the full moon development. It's like you move out of this feeling like, dang, I have no options, or the options I have kind of suck, to being like, I'm the Queen of Wands, I can get whatever option I want. Like even just the change in the body language. Something about, because even if you look at her intensity, her eyes are wide open. She's almost like gazing, right? And there's a level. I heard intensity. There's a level. You know what? That's another message I'm getting, is that you'll know it's your thing when it matches your intensity. Whether this is a role, this is a position. I heard entrepreneur too, because I get entrepreneur vibes from this too. You'll know it's your thing when it makes you more intense, like in a magnetic way, or you attract someone who's like just as intense, right? Especially with this dog here, right? Because dogs are naturally like, they can be kind of intense too, you know. Something about like someone match your freak. I don't know. Heard something about matching a freak, okay? Matching your freak. Someone who's loyal to you. Someone who's like locked in to, like, I heard whatever you're serving, I'm eating. What does that mean? Oh my God. What are y'all on? Okay. Something about like you just like, I feel like this speaks about authenticity. The more authentic you are in how you're showing up, the more, because I heard like bow down. Like, I heard bark like you want it. You want it. Something about bark like you want it. Especially with the wand here, it's like, you better bark like you want it. Like something about, and I feel like this is the energy that is gonna help empower you as we go into the full moon the next 2 weeks. That's gonna make you feel more powerful, more abundant. Also, it's gonna help you feel more confident. Something about like, I'm also getting that like, fake it till you make it, step out of your comfort zone. Something about like having to like project confidence is gonna help you be more confident. So, and something about like, you know, something, I heard mirror work. So this also is like looking in the mirror, doing beauty magic, feeling in your body, like looking at, checking yourself out. Something about using your own, like I said, the eye contact. Something about you looking in the mirror and like talking to yourself and feeling yourself is going to help you build more confidence, to help you step outside of your comfort zone and like move into a new space. All right, on top of that, the Rooted and Growing affirmation deck. Now this one's going to be your affirmation for the next 2 weeks. I acknowledge my dopeness. See, didn't I say that? Confidence is key here. With, like I said, stepping out of your comfort zone, it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but when you acknowledge that you survived literally 100% of everything that you've ever been through in your whole life, and that you've only made it out better every time, give yourself some, I heard just like, give yourself props, like give yourself like you are that, you know, you're that dude, you're that, you know, you need to tell yourself that more. Something about self-talk is going to be really important the next 2 weeks. Being able to have positive self-talk, speaking affirmations. I heard self-validation is really important. Validating your emotions. 4 of Cups, really acknowledging how these things make you feel about yourself. Because I heard something about a situation making you feel a certain, or a situation or a person, like making you feel a certain way about how you feel about yourself, right? Really looking at that and being like, does this honor me, or does this make me feel like a lesser version of myself? That's a question might come up within the next 2 weeks. And then I had 2 cards come out. This is the second affirmation. I grant myself permission to do less and be more. So something about you having to, because I'm getting this, like, you carry a lot of burdens with you, or you're carrying on, like, it's like I feel like what you're carrying is not just your weight, you're carrying the weight of your family and also like your ancestors. Something about giving yourself permission to do less and be more, to be more, to show up and just energetically be more. I heard something about, because I'm getting this, like, your work, like you try to express value like through your work and what you can offer and what you can do, when the universe is trying to tell you to slow down, and you don't have to prove your worth you don't have to prove your worth, or like you don't have to prove it. You are worthy. Like, you are worthy. You should just be respected and valued for that. There is not anything you could do to even try to create more. I mean, yes, there's things you can do to create more value for yourself, but from where you are so valuable. Ooh, I just got deja vu. Giving yourself permission to just be. Giving yourself, allow yourself to receive, because I'm getting this energy, pile 3, like you're a giver. Like, you are someone, like, you give abundantly, you show up, you're very loyal, you're very dedicated, you're very like obedient, and like you want the best for everyone. You're a giver by nature, but who gives to you? And like, yeah, who gives to you? This is the time, the next 2 weeks, to really, like I said, not force anything. Give yourself permission to just exist and just be in the moment, and or just like allow yourself to be loved on. Because I see this dog, right? And like, you know, just like we all do when we see a cute dog, we're like, can we pet it? Can we love it? Something about this week, like something about the next 2 weeks, like I said, it's like you're gonna be that dog where you're just like, I'm just chilling, and people are gonna be like, oh my god, that's the cutest dog ever. I wanna, you know, that's how people are gonna be to you. People are just gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, that is so valuable, it's so cool. I just want to pet you. I want to touch you. I want to say hi. I want to interact with you. You may feel uncomfortable, because I heard something about uncomfortable, like being seen, or uncomfortable with attention. You could have a conflicted relationship with like receiving attention. Something about this week or the next 2 weeks, getting more comfortable with getting attention, because you are going to naturally draw more attention to yourself. When you validate yourself, attention isn't so freaky and so scary. All right, let's get into Archangel messages. So I got 2 that popped out. First one is Archangel Jermiel. I don't know how to pronounce it. Overcoming difficulties. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. So this also goes back to what I was saying, that comfort zone. It is safe for you to step outside of your comfort zone, because I heard the worst is over. The worst of what you've experienced, I heard it gets better. Like, it only gets better from here. Something about holding on. I'm also getting that song. I channeled it earlier, but it feels relevant, by Wilson Phillips. It's called Hold On. It's like the song from the 80s, but it's called Hold On. You should listen to it. There's a message in there, because it just talks about overcoming difficulties and knowing that there is more good to be had. There's more good times that lie ahead, for sure. And then the next one I have is Hello from Heaven. Archangel Azrael, your loved ones are in heaven, are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. This is also another message I see here that's really beautiful too. Some of you may have an ancestor that have recently passed, or you have a loved one that's in heaven or that has crossed over. They want you to know, see, now I'm going to get emotional. They want you to know that you are so deeply loved and you're so valued for who you are, and to not stop being yourself. Like, continue to be yourself. Be the best version of yourself you can be, is what I hear. Channeling someone's ancestor specifically is that you are their wildest dreams come true. And there's so much divine love and unconditional love, like it's unconditional love, that exists beyond this realm. And I'm just getting the affirmation of like, someone's ancestor saying that just because you don't see it in this three-dimensional reality, like their love surpasses dimensions. Something about somebody's got a funny ancestor. I don't know. I don't know if this is someone that's like passed on. It could be a family member, a parent, or someone's family member or like someone's ancestor is like funny as hell. Like someone that like just cracks people up. Is just like the memories you have with this person of them just like being so rich, full of like life and like joy and like laughter, and like being around them just like makes you crack up, or like used to. But something about this, your ancestors really wants you to lean into joy and really enjoy being alive and the beauty in it, and just like that's really what I'm getting. I'm getting just like the next 2 weeks, really like honor yourself, honor your ancestors by popping out, okay? Honor your ancestors by popping out, okay? Because if I heard that they were in your shoes, they look somebody's ancestor, they said, look, if I was in your shoes, you wouldn't be able to stop me, okay? Something about, like I said, somebody's ancestor is like so funny. This could be like your ancestor or your someone in your family, but yeah, just the next 2 weeks, just take time to honor yourself, really evaluate what loyalty and compassion, self-compassion looks like. Acknowledge your dopeness. Tell yourself every day, at least say one nice thing about yourself every day is what I'm getting. But that's what I got for you, pile 3. Wish you the best with this next new moon cycle, new moon in Pisces. So it's a beautiful time for us to start acting and living out what it is that we really want in our reality. And it's time for us to achieve our wildest dreams. But thank you so much for joining me. My name's Teddy. If you enjoyed this, please like the video. Just that way other people can, get the messages that they need. Please feel free to subscribe to our community as well. If you want to book a personal with me, my information is linked in the bio or on my channel. Other than that, see you next time.